evening, everybody, and welcome to the APAT show tonight with special guest John Murray. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Leigh, how are you? How is everything today?
Good. Yeah, I am very good. We're in a good place. Sad news. No satellite running tonight on Sky Poker. I checked at 5 to 9 and there was one lonely figure. Steve 40 was the only one sat at a table waiting to play, and they all looked and went, I'm not going to try and beat Steve 40. No chance. So so they did register.
Strangely.
Yeah,
we've been having some pretty decent numbers in there.
We have, yeah, but middle of the month, not a problem whatsoever. Loads going on. Obviously, APAT Leeds has been happening, and we were chatting about it in our with Tom, you and I yesterday, when you looked at the events that were on over this weekend across the UK.
Oh, it's packed.
It's just heaving with huge guarantees at kind of sensible buy-ins. It's like finally, like the rest of the poker industry, have caught on to sensible buy-ins and give people value for money. So yeah, huge amount of poker going on, and obviously lots of other stuff. FA Cup final, all sorts of stuff going on this weekend. So yeah, that could be the reason why. But yeah, so no satellite, but not a problem though, because we got plenty to chat about.
We do.
Yeah, so I don't know whether you saw my post on Facebook, Des, but obviously we've brought John on to chat through the upcoming World Cup. He's going to run through all 48 countries, give us a rough feel for what's what, and then he's going to give us his pick for the APAT show giveaway once he's done all the calculations, because it's not just a case of picking the best team. You see, we'll talk a bit more about that later on. And obviously, John is also going to give us a little bit of gardening health and safety tips as we head into the summer months. The nights, drawn out a little bit, and just a few tips on how to avoid the pitfalls of trees in the garden. So John's going to run through that with us, and if we've got any spare time, we're going to mention the WSOP fantasy competition that. To be honest, it's the only reason John's on here. You'd think he had a book to sell or something like that, but actually,
this time every year he just comes on. He
abuses us. Shall I let you into a little secret here? John doesn't, but he's got an agent, right? He's got management. John has.
It's not that wee man who's very shy.
You know the guy. You know the guy.
Man, very shy.
Yeah.
Shiny wheels.
Mr. Pilgrim,
he'll
drop you a message. He'll go, Leigh, any chance we could get the entries are looking a bit low to start with. Do you think we could get maybe John on the show, and we could obviously. So he's got people that do all that do his bookings for him, and this is not the only show you'll see him on this week. He's on that bad podcast as well. So
he went on there first, didn't he? He went on there first. He went on there first.
Yeah, he did.
I hope he loses a leg, Leigh. Hope he loses a leg. How many legs have you got tonight, John? Both of them?
I've got one good one and one not so good one.
Well, in all seriousness, I hope you don't lose a leg. That's far too serious to be messing about with. Okay.
On the fantasy competition, because that's the one I'm putting together my teams. It's not straightforward, and I don't know how anybody else is finding. I saw somebody had posted up in the group chat, John, I think this week, because obviously there's a lot of hoo-ha about some of the rule changes, and some people are kicking off, and I've seen the likes of Patrick Leonard this week has been suggesting, well, if I'm not going to get my Des is going fishing, he's got his patch approved, so maybe he's not going to play, and it's all I mean, are we expecting any of these little rule changes and things that have been announced in the last couple of weeks or so to have any impact on the fantasy competition whatsoever, or is it all just a little bit of a storm in a teacup?
Do you think? I mean, I can't see any of the players not turning up because they're not allowed to wear a particular badge or what have you. I mean, some of their sponsors, I suppose, might prefer if they did, but
it is an interesting one. I mean, I saw something on the Twitterverse the other day they were trying to compile a list of who's on the okay list and who's not. And I thought it was every individual person had to put a request in if they wanted to wear something. It wasn't a case of there was a good list and a bad list, and you could only wear a patch from anyone on the good list. I thought every individual had to. So it seems like it's already got a little bit of a grey area over even how they're going to manage this or what they're gonna do. For example, take for example. So say, I'm going over this year. So say I wore this T-shirt.
Easily see 3 or 4 of those at a final table.
Does that? Yeah, is it only an issue if you're at a feature table? But they're talking about if you're producing content that they, about what's branded as well. It all seems a little bit grey. They haven't really properly thought it through, and of obviously trying to cover themselves from predominantly what went on with the Millionaire Maker last year, where there was eventually no actual winner for that, John, was there? And I guess they're trying to tighten up on some of these, which is not a bad thing to look at. Go through the rules, go through the legals, but it all feels like it doesn't feel that welcoming, does it? It feels like it's for the players. It's being made quite hard work for you to do anything over there this year.
Some of it's, very hard, or almost impossible to police anyway. Particularly when you've got thousands in some particular tournament. I guess it's aimed towards the ends of tournaments and then the bigger name players. I think you'd probably be all right wearing your APAT top.
Does the size of the logo make a difference?
I don't know.
I'm just worried now, thinking, have we gone a bit too mad on the?
I like that, Leigh.
Is that the problem? Yeah, are we going to get away? We're technically advertising the city, so really, we should be okay, I think.
Well,
and next year, obviously, which is going to. I was thinking if I wore these T-shirts this year, I'm going to get a few funny looks. Look at that idiot.
Yeah, what will they interpret?
He's arrived early. He's early for his event. What the hell is that about?
Look at him. He's got them printed up, and he can't even get the year right.
Yeah, fucking typo. There's a typo in that. Look at that, Beryl. Typo. Listen, the one that's kind of interested me on the label front is that the suggestion is that if a brand, which I assume is not the now owner brand of the WSOP, if a competing brand gets 3 players onto a final table, only 2 shall be allowed to wear the patch. However, do they decide who the 2 are? Maybe it's chip count at the start of the final table. How would you decide that?
I don't know. Maybe they leave it up to the players to decide. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not going to work, is it?
It's a strange one, and of course, the reality of it is, let's not forget that. Yeah, we talk about, the professional players, which have obviously got sponsorship deals, so they're being paid money to promote the online brand or the poker brand that they're affiliated with. That's kind of the part of their gig, isn't it? It's what they're doing. Yes, it's not the only thing that brings them in money, but it all helps towards their job and what they do and their income. And of course, as recreational players get deeper into that main event or any big event, you'll have opportunities, won't you, to go and do a deal to wear a patch on a final table or whatever. But what's the interesting was if they're limiting who can do that, does that then just it monopolizes the whole thing, and basically they can just go, wear a GG patch, for example, but we're going to only pay you 1/10 of what actually somebody would pay you to wear one of their patches on a final table. It feels like it's not a fair playing field for everybody, because it could be your one opportunity, isn't it? Somebody runs deep. Take somebody like John Hess from a little while back. Obviously he had a really decent cash in the end, but yeah, he made the most of the opportunity and the fame in the short term, and that obviously is financially beneficial, isn't it?
Yeah, as I say, I think a lot of it's going to be aimed at the end. Like the rule about the new rule about the electronic, you can't have your phone or tablet or anything. That specifically says it on the last 3 tables. So I think some of the other rules will be aimed towards the end of tournaments.
And I saw another one this week, John, that they're talking about. I think it was off the back of Apple. Were talking about some new product of theirs that was going to be AirPods with built-in cameras or something. And there was a suggestion that was going to be therefore another thing that's going to need to be reviewed. on what the best way is to go about managing some of this. But we're heading into that world of technology with AI and real time analysis of situations visually. I mean, we could. Who knows what? I mean, we could be getting into a world where it's not that long before they're having to check footballers before they go on the pitch. They've not got a minute earpiece in, and it's allowing them to be told there's a player behind you. Watch that run. Watch that. This whatever, and effectively being given guidance in football matches or anything for that example, because the technology is getting so small and so discreet these days.
American footballers have that already, don't they? They have earpieces from the coaches, but it's usually the players usually stopped, I think, when they use them.
Yeah, but this is we're heading into this world of technology where AI real time can just be watching a video stream and gathering live information and data and making analysis of it. From a poker point of view, it's going to be interesting, because I guess if there's the ability for somebody to be sat at a poker table and visually showing somebody their hole cards and being able to have hear things, I mean, it kind of takes away the whole point of
you could imagine AI kind of like saying, oh, that particular guy, when he's bluffing, he bets smaller than when he's got the goods.
It's the management of information, isn't it?
We could process all that for all the players. Some electronic thing could and feed that back.
But hey, let's not take all of that away from the fun and simplicity that is the fantasy WSOP competition.
But before you leave it, though, Leigh, are you prepared? Like, suppose you do get 3 players to a final table and they've all got APAT badges on. I mean, is the sponsor going to have to make the decision?
Wouldn't that just be the ultimate decision to have to make about what do you do with that?
Oh,
one?
Leigh, John, I have to interrupt you both, because our satellite in the north of England has just broken cloud cover, and I'm seeing the one and only Chris Bean live from Leeds.
Good evening, Walter. Can you hear me?
Look, Chris, you've only got 90 seconds, mate, right? None of this grandstanding. Just give us the votes, and away you go, right?
Chris, how has it gone up at Leeds, my friend, for the weekend? Was it a good one?
It's been a cracking weekend. Really good turnout. I think it's 232 we had in the end. And 4,060 pounds to the winner, as well as the Vegas.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad you got on, because I was looking at some of those names on that final table and I was thinking, I hope Chris turns up so he can pronounce them, because I'm not sure whether I want to have a go at some of those. So
very international final table.
So over to you, my friend. Do you want to run us through who picked up the medals in the main event?
Yeah, so the gold medal went to Stephen Stead, who absolutely dominated the final.
That was the one I was comfortable with, to be honest. I could do that one. Yeah, that was okay.
Jacek Skizun won the silver medal.
Nicely done, Chris. Nicely done.
Fortunately, I had a Polish housemate once, so Jacek is
great name. Yeah.
And in third place was Lee, and he took up a bronze medal.
We'll take that one as well. Awesome stuff. Very well done indeed. And I saw there were a couple of APAT familiar faces on the round of each final table this afternoon as well.
Yeah, Pete Wigglesworth took the min cash for 5th place, and Gordon G. McMacArthur took the bronze medal.
Very good.
Superb.
Nice run by Gordon. And Pete made a fairly deep run in the main as well, if I'm not mistaken. He certainly had a double early on day 2.
Peter did, yeah. He came in with only 7 big blinds, and he managed to spin it up. And I think he ended up busting just short of the final table, about in the 14th place.
Good run.
It's good for his weekend.
Yeah, and the numbers seem to be really good, Chris, with the main. 220 runners.
Yeah, it's 223 runners, I think, or 232, round that ballpark. But yeah, it was at least 50, 60 more than Newcastle. So.
Chris, I'm really sorry. I've sent you obviously an APAT jacket, and it's got some big mark on it. There's some sort of circular white mark and red on it. I can't see what that is on there.
We can invoice him for the space.
Yeah, this is a bad poker pass hoodie. It's just got. I've just put an APAT logo here.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Brillianto, sir. Okay, well, listen, Chris, we will let you back to the wilds of Leeds. Are you coming home tonight?
Yeah, it's heading straight up the M1 now.
Yeah, how long do you drive?
By 11 o'clock.
By around 11.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad. That's
That's if the M1's open. I don't know if it's.
Chris, have you got your ticket for the playoff final yet?
Well, that's another question, isn't it? But I'm quietly confident we'll be reinstated in because Southampton are a pack of cheating bastards.
What is the latest on that? Obviously, Southampton binocular gate. I mean, they're not going to stop Southampton from playing the final, are they?
No, my understanding of it is that it's going to be a fine and a points deduction for next time they're in the league. And the fact that today I saw on Sky they are heavily advertising the final with
for the
Southampton
normal days
against Hull.
Yeah.
I can't believe Sky would be running preview stuff for the final if it was still undecided. So I'm assuming it's kind of been agreed what's going to happen. It's all a bit, isn't it? It's all a bit of a. I've got lots of questions about it, Chris. I mean, seriously, we could do a whole show talking about it because the one thing that's not been discussed yet in the media, obviously. At the moment, it's a Southampton guy, and did he do it? Didn't he do it? Well, he's there, so we're going to assume he did it. But it does open up a whole can of worms of saying, well, what if that guy behind that tree filming that training wasn't a Southampton member of staff?
Well, it is.
What happens? What happens then? So could you then go? Well, they could have got a third party because I'm seeing a business opportunity, Chris. Basically, I'm thinking John is really handy with trees. He can get close to the trees. But why not offer the services to film other teams training and sell it on? Because how can the club get done for that then? Well, it's a whole grey area that they've really got to get resolved at some point. But whether it gets sorted to everybody's satisfaction this week is another thing altogether.
But I'm quite certain that they will be thrown out, and the main reason is because it happened during the playoff phase, and because it's not like within the league, they can't do a points deduction. That's not a sanction that they can actually do. So the only alternative is either to throw them out or a huge fine. Now, is a fine really going to be an incentive to stop people from cheating in the future when each team had 35 million of equity going into the game? Like all four members of the lost.
I tell you what,
it's £1 million fine. It's just a drop in the ocean. So I think to set a precedent, they've got to throw them out.
I tell you what, when you hear Chris say there's 35 million of equity on each side going into the final, you kind of would have to say, don't send a member of your staff with a pair of binoculars to look at somebody else's training. It's just stupid. When
would you play it, Chris? Because if they throw them out, they're not going to get. They can't get you guys in for. It's this coming Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's talk of it being arranged for either the Tuesday or Wednesday evening next week. So it gives both teams at least 7 days to prepare for the final.
That'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see what happens. Obviously. John, being a Portsmouth guy, is quite wanting Southampton to be thrown out of whatever it is, John. Yeah, that's quite.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. Have to go.
Everything.
We will find out this week for sure. And I've got a funny feeling. Next Sunday on the show we'll be chatting a bit more about it, Chris. Maybe we'll get you back on for a proper guest appearance on the show. And we can talk it all through.
Sounds like a plan, sir.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, I'll catch you
Thanks
later.
a lot, Chris.
Brilliant.
Safe
Cheers,
journey
Chris.
home, my
Safe
friend.
journey home, buddy.
Bye.
There we go. I'm glad we got Chris in to do those. I did look at that final table, Des, and I thought I'm not fancying some of those names to try and get those if they win. But cracking event up in Leeds, another regional that's worked really, really well. Leeds Championship is done and dusted. Next one for us live is going to be Coventry. Same thing again. at the end of June. If you fancy getting there, it's the 19th to the 21st of June. And get involved in that one if you want to. Right then, let's get back to what we were talking about, which is the simplicity of the Fantasy WSOP competition. Pick 10, no restrictions. So the rules haven't changed for a long time, John. Actually, it's pretty straightforward, and it works really well. Are you keeping your little substitution rule in for the first few, or where you can make your changes? Is that still allowable?
Yeah, still there for the first 10 events. We usually have like late entries for the first 10 events, until the 10th event starts, and we allow substitutions as well. Mainly because sometimes somebody picks a player and then we discover the first week he hasn't played at all and he's not coming. So rather than just being dragging behind, basically be dead from the start, we allow substitutions. But people do it for other reasons. They just decide they fancy someone else sometimes. Sometimes it goes wrong. Like we had someone, I think it was Gareth Howard last year. He substituted out 2 players, and then both of them won bracelets. That sounds very Gaz-like,
to be honest. Yeah, absolutely. So I guess for anybody that doesn't know, so John and Carl have been running this Fantasy WSOP now for probably more years, John, than you care to want to mention. It's been going on for a little while now. There's a Facebook group which is open, so you can go and find that. So if you go and look for APAT Fantasy, I think it's Fantasy Poker Competition, I think you call it, isn't it? Do
you want me to give you the URL?
Oh, it has a URL that doesn't involve 13 numbers.
The page. I mean, you can get that probably from the APAT page.
Yeah.
But we have our own one. It's tinyurl.com/APAT WSOP updates is where all the action, all the discussion happens.
Just flows off the tongue.
The entry form is the same.
How much did you pay for that, John? Did you get that at an auction or what? Tiny. Do you remember tiny, Leigh?
We'll get it on a exactly. We'll get it on a
Elon Musk to get that.
Yeah, well, put it on a t-shirt. I definitely
get that on a
absolutely. So basically, so you can join the group and join all of the chat. All the info is on there that you need. But basically, you can enter your team via a Google Doc, and it's £10 a team, isn't it? Into the prize. Well, how much was the prize? What did the winner take home last year, John? It was
last year. I think the winner got 560.
Wow.
I think, and there were like a few other people who got in the hundreds.
Well, your winner last year, John, I was talking to Carl about this during the week. So your winner picked up that cash. He also got a £140 APAT seat, which is in the prize pool again for this year. And he played Glasgow last year. He also won a chunk of Poker Raffle site credit last year.
Mm-hmm. We decided to do it a bit differently this year.
Well, I was going to say, he spun that up into a Party Poker main event seat,
right, worth
£500, and he played Party Poker Birmingham last year, all from the fantasy competition.
Mm.
Wow!
And I bet he didn't even. Did he get any socks? He must have got some socks as well, surely. Yeah.
We decided to spread out the other prizes, like the poker raffles and any other spot prizes and that we get, amongst other players, rather than giving the first place, because they get a lot anyway. They get a lot of money and the seat. So we're going to spread those out to other players who maybe didn't either win so much or didn't win anything.
Nice with it, but it's a great way of following the WSOP. Your updates are phenomenal, John, as always with it, and far too much time and effort goes into it. But I know you guys enjoy doing it anyway, and everybody gets to follow along what's going on. So I guess it's then just a case of how do you pick your 10 players? I mean, obviously, my first thing is I go back to my team from last year and go, right, okay, who let me down? And who actually was good. But you very kindly this week popped up in the group a little table that showed the points the top points from players last year. which obviously is always a good starting point. And the assumption, I guess, is that the vast majority of these guys. I mean, I can't believe Michael Mizrachi is going to have another year similar to last year, but hey,
yeah, but I can't believe he's not going to turn up either.
Well, that's very true. So Sean Deeb was top of the table last year with 89 points. Benny Glazer obviously plays a lot of the mixed games, was second on the list. And Mizrachi was fourth. Brian Rast was there as well. I was looking at this list the other day, John. I was thinking to myself, do we know who would have, who were the top point scorers that nobody picked, so therefore wouldn't be on your list, I guess?
Yeah, I can tell you that. Well, Scott Bowman was our third highest, and he only got one pick last year.
Wow, really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, who else? Philip Steinheimer, he only got one pick. He was pretty high. Victor Blum only got one pick, and he was very high. So was Marco Johnson. They were all like only got one or two. Dylan Lind, Michael Rosisho, they only got one. Alan Leigh, Matthew Vengren, Punnett. There's lots of players who only got like one pick, but who finished really high. You've got lots of final tables and so on. A lot of the big name players finished like either won bracelets or finished high. I think more than I've kind of typically noticed in previous years. A lot of really well-known players won bracelets.
And of course, this year it's same number of tournaments, isn't it? It's 100 tournaments. So we're pretty much the same. And although they've tweaked some of the events, some of the smaller high volume events where they've reworked some of the days and stuff, so you can buy into a day two after a day one, and it sounds like you can nearly buy your way into a final table, to be honest. But so there's been a bit of discussion around some of those tournaments. But the reality of it is it's pretty much is like for like, isn't it?
It's very similar. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of changes, I think.
John, occasionally a hot new name will appear on a tipster's lips. And obviously, if you see a hot new name, you want to keep that for yourself, right? You don't want to necessarily see other players choose that player, right? That is why strategically you're publishing that list of top players. You want everybody to pick them, right? Because you got something else in reserve. But one of our audience, can I say audience? Viewers, Mr. Forty, well known, suggests Fantasy World Series of Poker is amazing. Just need to sort out if Des Duffy is going to play that many World Series of Poker events. Who is this Des Duffy that he talks of?
Right. I don't know.
Yeah. Nobody knows that one. Okay.
It's not you, is it?
It couldn't possibly be me. But
you're not thinking of going, are you?
No, I'm not that retired enough to do it. I would love to do it someday, John. I mean, is there a poker player out there who doesn't want to, even at a lower level, play a World Series of Poker event or two?
Yeah, I know.
Particularly in the summer. I mean,
Amanda would be a good pick. I know she's definitely playing the main event.
She's in.
That is an absolute definite one. So
Amanda who?
Yeah,
Amanda Holden.
Amanda Holden, steady on you, John. What is this I hear? I don't know if you've heard similar, but I suspect you will know if anybody will. That the final tables are all going to be broadcast on YouTube live.
I believe so. Yeah.
Have you heard that? Is that the first hour of them or the whole shebang?
It's a while since I've read it, actually. I'm not sure. I think it was all of them.
That's what I thought was the case. It just seems so remarkable because surely it has to really hurt the Poker Go business model.
You would think so. I think there's a delay, but there was a delay anyway, wasn't there, on Poker Go?
Well, yeah, and maybe Poker Go had a couple of screw-ups last year at the final table. If you remember, I think they had DDoS attacks and stuff like that. I do recall something from last year on that. Maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
But would you say ultimately, with obviously the new, the new owners of the WSOP now, it's in Gigi's interest to get get it across a front of many eyes, and actually having it behind a paywall for I can't believe how much income Poker Go makes from subscriptions, I can't believe it's that much. Surely that is a drop in the ocean for GG to say, well, actually, we're better off getting this game out there with our brand to as many eyes as we possibly can, because that's just it's far more interesting for them in actually getting people onto their site.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch the first hour or whatever it was that was free last year, and then just pack it in, and you know, so I did watch the site, but yeah, I mean, never paid for anything.
Well, every year I paid Poker Go, and I only did it for that quarter, and it was only 30 quid or whatever, so not the biggest sum in the world, but I felt I got really good value for it. You know, and I might only watch 2 or 3 final tables with any level of depth through the summer, but I always felt like I had a choice. I always felt if a Brit got to a final, or if I had a day off somewhere, I had the opportunity to watch it. And sometimes you wouldn't watch it live. You know, you could just replay the thing the following morning. It's just on in the background. You know, kind of makes you feel a part of it to a degree, just to see the World Series of Poker taking place.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see this year how much you do watch it. You know, whether we get tired of it after a while or what.
Yeah, Steve said, yeah, Poker Go had major denial of service issues. He goes on to say we massage each other, Des. I'm not sure about that. I think, do you know? I think we might. I think we might have talked about this last year. I think we might. And I think it was the final table. Like, it happened at just a horrendously bad time. But as Simon says, it looks like Poker Go actually lost the rights. So while that will hurt them, I've no doubt, in this quarter, they, you know, are broadcasting a ton of other great stuff on the platform.
And as Simon says, obviously ESPN are picking up a lot of it now as well. I don't know what that means, whether that means you can watch it in the UK, because ESPN used to be tied in with BT Sport, didn't they? But I'm not quite sure now. That seems to have rolled through a few different variations now. It doesn't now means maybe it'll all now be available on HBO Max. Which used to be Discovery Plus and that. So that, I mean, it'd be great if it was available on there and they popped it on one of those sports channels.
You wonder how Poker Go would have lost the rights. If that's the right way to look, because
I think it's the contract will have run. Yeah,
Kerry Katz is a multi-squillionaire, like who owned it ultimately, I think. So I'm sure he could afford, you know.
I mean, do you think? I never got the feeling that Poker Go was more a. I don't think for one second it necessarily was a profitable, you know, business venture. Really, it felt like very much just a bit of a you know, kind of a romantic story of I'm going to set this up and run it. And whilst you had the rights to be able to show the World Series, great. But if you haven't got that, and you see that there's so many other places now that run live streaming of, you know, cash games and this, that, and the other.
Well, it might be that the market has changed, Leigh, but I think what they did well, and I think their platform of content is actually very strong. And of course, you know, they are a home of high stakes poker and, you know, the no gamble stuff and what have you. I mean, I think they've done quite a nice job. Whether they can support that model throughout the year without the World Series of Poker, of course, would be a question.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. But certainly, I think for this year, it's going to mean more content available for free, which I guess for yourself, John, will be great for gathering all those little stories of what's going on. And
it'll be great. I mean, obviously, you get updates from various sources, but being able to see it. It'll be a lot more entertaining.
So, be interested to know if anyone out there has got any kind of names that they want to throw out there at the kind of up and coming, because obviously, you know, every year we talk about the kind of similar sorts of names of players that have been around for a long time playing the WSOP, and it's a lot harder to actually find kind of up and coming younger players that are kind of maybe absolutely smashing it online and are then going to go and have a go at the series. But if anybody knows of any, I want to chuck them out there for us to talk about. Let us know.
I'll put a
quite often people.
I'll put a starter out there. I would have Brandon Shields in my team this year.
Yeah,
seems to be peaking at a lovely time. He's cashing everything, going really deep.
And he has
he's
entered our
committed to the
competition.
series.
He has put a team into our competition.
Has he picked himself,
Has he really?
That's
Yes,
what we
he
need
has.
to know. Has he
Good,
really
good,
picked
good.
himself?
Well, that shows
Oh, wow.
real commitment then. That shows. Yeah, I would have Brandon in my team because I think he's right smack in the middle of a sweet spot. I'm not sure Brandon is going to be, your top 2 or 3 point scorer, but I get a sense he's got a run or two in him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a couple of people who aren't so well known, but who've picked up bracelets in the last couple of years. I think last year I mentioned there'd been a Chinese guy who'd won 2 bracelets the previous year, Zhijing Luo. He won another bracelet last year, so I mean he's pretty hot. And to say not many people, I don't know if anybody picked him last year. Who else won 2 bracelets last year? Blaz Zerjav from Czech. He won 2 bracelets last year. That's a good tip, I think.
I see Matt Davenport was selling a package online. So he and Sinead, I think, are going out for the full series. I mean, she's shown a lot of form. He's clearly a strong player. It's so important to know how many events players are planning to play. That's key, right?
Yeah. Especially with the World Cup on at the same time.
Yeah.
You might lose some people kind of show more interest in that than the poker sometimes.
Barry Cullen is saying Nick Guagenti, something like that. Guagenti.
Didn't he win I'm sure he won, maybe it wasn't last year, maybe it was the year before he won. I'm sure he won the bracelet, I think the year before. No, it was last year. He won one last year.
Yes,
he won the 10K stud.
Simon says, I got a PokerGo sub, but I think I prefer YouTube if it's full coverage of mixed games. I guess, yeah, final tables, whatever they are. And the World Series of Poker, in many respects, is the ultimate mixed games festival. So there should be a ton of really interesting stuff on a daily basis. How cool is that? Tom says, it's difficult to stray from those big names when Mizrachi is winning. True. Mr. Banks, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, as Leigh, though, if you can find the little nuggets. I mean, would you pick Patrick Leonard?
I think he's done all right. I mean, he's never figured at the top. He has dipped in now and again.
Could be due one. I mean, he does play.
Yeah, he does play, and he usually gets some points. But
yeah.
Well, last year he did all right, didn't he? He had was it 15 cashes, 1 final table.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Did he get heads up in one of them? I think
he might have done.
I think he did. I think he got heads up in one tournament that he didn't win.
The interesting in the pick stats this year compared to, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I wonder how many players this year will continue to feature an IV, a Hellmuth. Negreanu, I would say, will still get a lot of picks, but an IV and a Hellmuth. I mean, what about Phil Hellmuth, John? Do you see the same number of players picking him as historically have done, or is his stock falling?
I'll tell you that. Last year he had 28 picks, so quite a lot of picks still.
Yeah. I'd take the under on that this year.
Yeah, well, he finished up with 25 points, which wasn't to be sneezed at.
That's not bad, actually.
I think and it still was a bad year for him. Yeah, I think he finished third in one tournament, and he basically didn't do much in the rest. But like the previous year, he did really well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't write him off. I mean,
I think it's very difficult when you've got 10 places to fill, because I guess the same could be said about Negreanu. It doesn't feel like he's had a decent WSOP for a good while now. Yet he still made 4 final tables last year and 13 cashes and picked up 49 points. Which puts him sort of nearly in the top 10 of the scorers in the fantasy league last year. So you kind of go, well, it kind of feels like it's like how do you not pick Sean Deeb
you've got
or
to
Benny
pick two.
Glazer. Yeah, how do you not have both
Yeah.
of them in your
Yeah.
10?
Agreed.
Bear in mind,
You have to.
you can have a few other to mix it up a little bit, but it does feel like it's really tough to not pick those big names. To at least have 3 or 4 of them in your 10, because they're nailed on to pick you up some points along the way, and that's what you need, isn't it? Because you're not going to pick a random player that's going to score 200 points and take your team to success. What you're looking for is 10 players that are going to consistently play most of the series and are going to not absolutely brick everything.
Average 40 or 50 points apiece, and you are in the money. Listen, gents, I don't know how much more time we're going to spend on the Fantasy World Series of Poker. We want to talk about the proper World Cup, right? We need to get onto that.
Well, let's wrap this up. Let's quickly say. So, John, what's the deadlines? When are people working to? What's obviously first tournament starts
on the 26th, which is Tuesday week.
So if they want to start scoring points from the off, which is always highly recommended, they need to basically Bank Holiday Monday next week. They need to have that team sorted and in.
Yeah. Get your team in. Even if you're in 2 minds about some player, I might choose this one or that one. Get your team in. You can always change it right up till the starting. Right up till the thing starts. But if you're not there when the first tournament starts, then you're not going to get any points for that tournament and so on. If you join after a couple of days, you might miss out on 3 tournaments worth of points and so on. So you can still enter, and it's still worth it because it's 100 tournaments. But I mean, why penalize yourself?
Yeah,
exactly that.
I tend to use AI on the site, Leigh, to make my picks. You've heard of Claude? Well, I use Carl. It's the AI on the site. You just send money, and the AI picks the team for you.
To be honest, he's done all week is badgering me, asking me what events am I playing. I mean, it's really irritating.
It's all about the insight. Is he in your DMs? He's in your messages.
It's very frustrating. I mean, I had to send him a hoodie just to get him to go away. Honestly,
just send the cash now, Leigh. Just send the cash.
Yeah.
He actually does that with a lot of the pros.
He does. I know he does.
Messages them directly to find
He's
out.
Absolutely brilliant. I haven't seen him in the chat tonight. He's normally in the chat.
I know. I don't know what he's probably.
Seriously, would consider sacking your agent, John. Honestly,
he's probably at home watching the Bad Poker podcast, Leigh. Right?
Yeah,
he's watching the rerun of that. He's forgot about us live.
This wouldn't happen without Carl.
He's been absolutely fantastic.
A huge part, kind of a little bit behind the scene, but in getting the whole thing going and promoting it, getting me going.
He's got to rev him up every
organizing
April.
The prizes, he's our treasurer and everything else. So there's a huge amount of the work.
Listen, John, I should put up this message again from Pete Wigglesworth. We haven't actually read it. We've shown it on screen. Pete, who deep ran the main event today in Leeds. Made a deep run in one of the side events. Says, evening guys, good luck to John and Carlos with the Fantasy World Series of Poker. Do a great job. We'll be entering a team. Absolutely. It's good entertainment through the summer. Got to be done.
What I would say is we appreciate all that you both of you do for it, and so do everybody out there. Just go and stick a team in. Pick 10 players. Go on the Hendon Mob. You can go on the Hendon Mob and just list last year's top WSOP caches if you want, and pick 10 of them. However you want to do it, it's well worth doing. Good fun, and as John mentioned earlier on, they're spreading the prizes out a little bit more this year with some more spot prizes and bits and pieces. So you might pick a rubbish squad and still find that you picked yourself up a prize along the way.
It's another of Carl's
socks one year.
Socks, yeah. It's another of Carl's roles is all these side competitions that he runs. So there's lots of ways of winning
nearest to the main event. No, it's lots of that. Leigh, it's just hit me. We missed a trick here. We should have given a Vegas 27 entry to the winner. If we do Vegas 27 in 28 next year, maybe we do that. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Fun. Actually, that would be fun to do.
That would be fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, well, Fantasy World Series of Poker is not your biggest, I think, tournament of the summer. Alas, let me introduce the World Cup 2026 giveaway. Leigh, we were on the WhatsApp a couple of days ago, and these things develop very quickly. And he said, "Oh, by the way, Des, I've just had this idea." And within about 4 minutes, we both said, "Amazing." Well, Leigh said, "I'll do all of the work," and I said, "Great idea. Off you go." And it's fun. This sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, Leigh. Tell us what your brainchild is.
I think it is. This is good because this is perfect for someone like John that has got no interest in sport whatsoever. And the minute we start mentioning football World Cups, I'll start glazing over. But yeah, this is good fun. So normally you get a normal sweepstake kind of thing where you all randomly get picked a team and it's whatever, and it's a crap team and you don't stand a chance of winning and blah blah blah. So we've changed the way we're going to do it. So you can pick any one of the 48 teams in the World Cup that starts next month, and every single country that's in the World Cup will earn some cash. They will earn site credit on poker raffles, depending on how they get on. So they can earn points for how they finish in the group games. They can earn some cash for qualifying through each of the rounds and then winning it. And they'll also win cash for every goal they score. So at the end of the tournament, when a team busts, they'll have a pot of money that they've accumulated over the tournament, and we will then turn that into site credit and split it out between all the people that picked that country. If you're the only one that's picked that country, then you'll win whatever that country's earned in total, and so forth. And any countries that aren't picked, we will put all of that money together and we will do a one-off draw for everyone that's entered to get that final pot of cash. It's as simple as that. It's free. You can just go onto the Poker Raffles website, find the draw on there, enter the draw like you normally would. It will allocate you the next available number, and all you need to do is click which country you wish to select. Now, the ridiculous thing about it, 48 countries, we've had now 40 entries, I think, and I think it's now 14 countries have been selected.
What?
Out of 40 picks. So I think still the top country has had now 11 people have selected them. So of course, it's not about picking necessarily the best team that you think might win it. It's picking a team that you think nobody else might pick and you think might do kind of okay. And you could then lock up 10, 20, 30, 40 quid's worth of site credit all for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's the way to do it. So 48. I mean, I must admit, I was going through the list of countries in the World Cup, and I was like, "Blimey, didn't realize they were in it. Realize they were in it," because there's some absolute crazy, crazy picks. But it is as simple as that. It's free to enter, available to anybody, as long as you are over the age of 18. You can enter, and obviously we can also, as it's a freebie, we can also allow entries from anywhere. So if you want to get involved in that, and just get onto Poker Raffles and pick a country. Obviously, no Wales in the World Cup, no Ireland in the World Cup. Yeah. So have you got a pick, John? Have you got
I can't see the list there. I mean, so if I pick some team that nobody else is going to pick, it'd be good. So if I pick like
the only way you can't win money, right? The only way you can't win money is if you pick a team that lose all three of their group games, and don't score a goal.
Right. But
in those three games, I mean, it's doable. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's possible.
It's a short list, I suspect.
But that is very much a short list. But I think if you go a little bit left field with this, you'll probably pick a team that not many are going to select. So
I'm good at that.
Yeah. So
we've got one for John. Simon is.
So if I pick like Sierra Leone or something, I'm probably going to be the only one.
Assuming if they're in it, I'm suggesting Iran.
I think Iran is a decent team from what.
Yeah, no, but again, it's if not many people pick them, then obviously you're going to be looking for nice money. I say Iran, Iraq are in there. Curacao are in there.
Yes.
Haiti are in there, I think.
England are in there in the same pot, Leigh.
I've got a manager. Haven't they got the Wally with the Brolly as their manager?
He was Jamaica, and then he wandered. He got wandered.
Yeah, I think he might have then. He quit. I think he might have quit recently. But there's a whole. Obviously, we're not releasing how many have been picked for what country until we close the drawdown, because we don't want to give anybody an advantage to know which countries haven't been picked. All I'm doing is I'm letting people know at the moment there's only 14 unique countries out of the 48. Yeah. That means you've got 34 that no one's picked yet.
You don't want to tell anybody that 11.
And there's a couple of really big, top countries that no one's selected yet. So it's a bit like I guess a bit like Pointless, isn't it? It's that weird thing of how did nobody, sometimes you start watching Pointless and they go and you hear the Pointless and you go, how did nobody get that? That's an obvious one, but when you're doing it,
we're gonna have to see when does it close, Leigh?
So the draw closes on June the 11th at midday, which is the day of the first games. So you've got until the 11th of June. So you've got about 3.5 weeks to get.
Is it only one entry?
It's one entry per person. Yeah. So pick wise. I mean, seriously, the amount of people this week that jumped into it, and then I said, you did read what I said about it, because I was quite surprised at their pick, and they were like, "Oh no, I didn't really pay attention to that."
So all gone for the favourites.
Yeah. So I said, be clever about it. Be clever about your pick, because if you might be better off picking somebody that isn't going to win it, but you're the only one that's got them, and they can get through the group stages, and then they might earn you 10, 20, 30 quid. But say we will be paying out. We're probably going to be paying out somewhere up around £1,000 worth of site credit across the World Cup for this. So it is free to enter. So get involved.
Leigh, will there be a special prize if anyone picks Scotland?
I can't believe anybody will. I can't believe anybody will. What I am going to do is I'm going to put up we're going to put up it's like I'm Carl, but I'm not. We're going to put up another competition on the Facebook page from next week to predict the total number of goals in the tournament.
That is a very Carl thing to do.
Yeah, we'll put that up with some merch, a hoodie, or actually we might put a hoodie up for anyone, everyone, either the closest or anybody that get it spot on. If there's more than one, they can all have hoodies.
Are there any lucky socks?
We've never done socks, Joe. I feel we missed a trip, but I'd feel if we entered the free sock arena now. I mean, people are just going to look and go, you weren't first to market. Carl's been doing it for years. It's just going to look like So,
and you can never get socks on a live stream, John. So they're a low window of opportunity product for us. A beanie, though.
I think we've already taken the market for that anyway. So
absolutely. So Leigh, we should do it, right? We've got the three of us on here. So based on the rules of this tournament, this competition that you've pulled together, let's ask you first. So who would your pick be? So I'm not asking you to reveal the statistics of
so who would I pick?
Who would you pick?
Who would I pick if I was? Well, I don't think anybody else would go for necessarily. I might well fancy a Morocco.
So that's a very intelligent pick. Yeah.
I quite
not
like
the easiest group, if I remember correctly.
No, I quite like, but would quite like potentially a Morocco.
Yeah, I like a Morocco. Pick. Who would you go for, John? Now you might not have the background here, so you might be pinning the tail. Can't see the list. Just name a big country, John.
A big soccer country. How about Italy's not in it, is there?
How weirdly the one you mentioned is the one that's not in it.
Russia.
Russia, no, they didn't qualify, I think, because of the rules of war. Okay,
how about USA?
That's not a bad shout. Yeah,
I heard somebody say that they believe Canada could win their qualifying group, which I would be flabbergasted at, but who knows? My own pick would
Well,
probably
but you say
be...
that, but they're in a group. So Canada are in a group with Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. And bear in mind, the third place. Some of the third place teams get through, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's not a worse.
You're talking about winning the group, Lee. This was
winning the
pundit.
group.
The pundit
wow,
said,
okay.
well, they're going to win the group. I can't remember who it was now, but
I mean,
think
USA
pundit
have got a tough group to get through.
Yeah.
They've got to get through Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey, which is not.
It's doable though for them, Lee. It'll
Not
be a
gonna-
scrap.
not going to be easy to.
What about Mexico? Have they got a? How's their group?
It's not a bad
Mexico
group
have
for them,
got South Africa, Korea, and Czechia.
Czechia.
All
Not
right.
a bad group. That would have been Ireland's group had they not exploded in Czechia.
Yeah, Morocco's got. I mean, Brazil obviously in their group, but then they've got Haiti and Scotland. So I would fancy them to
I
get
tell
through.
you what, the
yeah.
Scots played some great football to get there. So who knows? I hope they have a great World Cup. I think my own choice would be, but I would imagine quite a few people will get on them, Norway, because I think they could go far, and they're not going to get maybe as many as some of the more obvious European countries.
Yeah, obviously they've got France in their group, but then they've also got Senegal and Iraq. So it will be interesting to see. But get involved in that if you want to, folks. Well worth doing. Nearly done on the football, John, and then we'll be away to go. I've just got to give a quick shout out to our fantasy football league. I think it's going to be Mark Porter's to win. I mean, the guy is absolutely. He's still 2 weeks out, but he's absolutely flying in this one. He is. I know it's a bit small on this. If you bring it up on the screen, he is still 61 points ahead of Tristan in second place. So he's extended his lead a little bit. Tom Bacon's closed the gap, but there's still a bunch more matches this week, and then the final round of games next week. But the all-important Cup semi-finals. Again, this is only at the halfway stage because there's a game tomorrow night and then 2 games midweek. So Paul Haycock is currently 1 point ahead of Daniel Thursfield in the one semi-final, and Shirley Cole is absolutely smashing Danny Strange.
Go, Cheryl.
To pieces. 25-15 at the moment in the other semi-final. So looking to get to the final for next week for the final round of games. 50 quid's worth of poker raffles site credit up for grabs on that one. If you get that, and should just give a quick shout out whilst we're on poker raffles very quickly to if you wanted to buy for the DTD draw tomorrow night, sold out, I'm afraid. That's already gone, but there are 80 tickets left for the APAT draw for tomorrow night. If you want to get involved in that one. Next up is Coventry, and we have also now got a DTD 300 and a UKPC draw on the website as well, alongside the Party Poker Pro Package Tour. And right down the bottom there, you can see that FIFA World Cup giveaway draw there. So you just click into that, free ticket to buy, and select your
That's brilliant.
country.
Love it.
Way to go.
Excellente, Lee. Like that very much.
And we should just do, Des, as we always do on a Sunday night. 51 players in the Sunday Major.
51
on Sky. Overlays every week, folks. Overlays every week. I do keep saying about it. If you've got a spare £100, it's a cost of living crisis. What are we talking about? But yeah, if you can satellite into it or get into it, that is the tournament to play every week. £8,000 guaranteed, £100 buy-in. We have now been running APAT shows with Sky probably for about 2 or 3 months now, haven't we? And I'm yet to see it make its guarantee on a Sunday night. It is the one to play if you can get in there and do it. Well worth giving it a shout.
Fantastic, Lee. So do we have anything else on the agenda, my man, or are we going to go for the early finish?
No, I think we are there. Basically, guys, you have got a week to get your fantasy WSOP entries in and sorted. All the info is in the group on Facebook. We'll put I think the link is already up in the APAT group as well, but I'll make sure it's attached to the header that I put up today to promote that. You've got a week to get in if you want in from the start, and just seriously get it in from the start, because it makes so much more sense to do that and start earning points. I say all the info's there. It's a really straightforward Google Doc that John spent a load of time last year doing a lovely little drop down for you, so he doesn't. Well, it's more for John's benefit, so he doesn't have to deal with all the typos and spelling errors. Isn't it? I mean, let's be honest about it. But if there's somebody not on the list, that just makes John's night. He loves that. If you pick someone that he hasn't already got, he's all for that. So
it's fine. It's fine.
Throw the net wide as you like and see what you can come up with. And maybe it could
spell
be
your
you.
player wrong as well if you can as well. Just one digit wrong if you can.
But maybe it could be you this year that picks up, say 500 quid's worth of cash or whatever it is, and added value seats and everything else, say for a tenner, and a load of fun for a couple of months, keeping up to date with what's going on and what's happening over in Vegas.
That's a big part of it. Like there's all the points and prizes and so on, but there's all the discussion and the back and forward and the fun and whatever of people. So I mean, I would ask people to get involved, not just enter the team, but react on the page as well. If we say something, then tell us we said something stupid or whatever. But to increase the discussion and that kind of thing.
That sounds like John's trying to monetize the group, Des.
I'll tell you what,
it sounded like he's trying to. That's what I read into that.
When he said increase the discussion there, Leigh, I thought that's the perfect link to shut the show down on. Right,
it sounded like
shut it down on increase.
It sounded
the discussion.
Like clicks for questions is what it sounded like to me. It sounded well dodgy. Yeah,
2 to 3 years, Leigh, he could sit where we sit. We know that, right? Because we don't sell anything, do we?
Absolutely
oh dear God!
But no, seriously, get involved with it. Get your teams in, and as I say, as John says, get in there when you see the kind of the reports coming up, and give your feedback and info and anything that's going on, and get involved with it. It's a really good, fun community, and it's my first protocol in the mornings to find out what's gone on overnight from Vegas and what's happening. So in the previous couple of days, I always check in during the couple of months I'm out there.
Seriously, true, folks. John, before we leave, we should ask, how is the gangrene?
Oh.
How's that legs? Is it still hanging on?
I'd never even heard of this cellulitis before. Oh my God. So painful. I mean,
what happened, John? What happened?
Well, I don't actually know. Apparently it's bacteria has got into your leg or anywhere, but in my case it's my leg. So there needs to have been like a scratch or something for it to have got in, and then some bacteria. So I mean, all I'm putting it down to, I was trancing about in the garden. I had to cut down some trees and I was breaking them. Well, I broke them down last year, and so there was smashing those up, and then I was knee deep in leaves that were all half rotten underneath, I suppose, as well. So I'm assuming it was to do with that, but might not have even been. But it's incredibly painful to try to walk, just to put your leg down on the ground. And then and very swollen and kind of miscolored and all that kind of thing. Now it's a lot better. I mean, I can walk, but it's 4 weeks now. I can walk a certain distance, but without pain. But if I stay upright for 10 minutes or whatever, I start to feel it. So I'm still spending most of the day lying on the couch.
And tell me, John,
having a leg upright is painless. It's just amazing, and having it down was excruciating. And now having it down is okay.
Yeah. And what's the recovery period generally, or is it kind of depends on the patient?
A few people have messaged me to say that they've had it in APAT and that. One said 6 months it took to fully recover.
Wow.
But I think I'll probably be back to work maybe another week or two.
Yeah.
Though I can start doing something from home. I've kind of ignored it all because your time. It's funny you're kind of not doing much, but your time is kind of occupied. It's very slow to do anything, and so on.
Well, it's really good that you've had an opportunity to recover. And obviously hope that recovery goes well. John, I don't think there isn't anybody who saw your pictures who wouldn't have gone, that's when you kind of appreciate when you've got your health right, when you see somebody who, is going through something at the moment. So, hope you recover quickly, John.
Thanks. I mean, for me, it's not a major, serious, like life-threatening thing. It's something in my leg that will recover.
Was it more or less painful than the Luton incident, John?
The Luton incident didn't hurt at all. It was completely painless. It was on my head.
Just mentally, Leigh, mentally.
I think there aren't any nerves kind of there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, on the high note of Luton, I think we should leave it there for tonight. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, John, in particular, for joining us. Thanks to Chris Bean, who joined us all the way from Leeds. Poker raffles tomorrow night, as Leigh said. Come and join us, right? If you're a raffles pro, get in. There are still some tickets left on the APAT draw. Other than that, hopefully, we'll see you back again next Sunday night for the APAT show. Leigh, how cool is it? Because it feels like there's been a live APAT event or an online APAT event every week. It feels like for about 12 weeks now. We've got a few weeks off of the big live events. Quite cool in some respects.
Yeah, it's only 2 weeks, though, because, we're 2 weeks now without anything, and then we've got another online online event. Then we're a week off, and then we've got another live event, and then I'm buggering off to Vegas, Des. I've had enough at that point, so you're on your own after that, friend.
I know exactly what to do. Don't you worry.
If you let us know what you're playing, we can say.
Yeah. Got big schedule, massive schedule. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, gents, we shall leave it there. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I will leave you with the APAT dates for the rest of the year. Good night, everybody.